Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round one of the V8 Vets Over 50s Championship. So this is a bit of a side show to the main event, which is the V8 Vets Season 23, which is currently running across 4 splits. For those that haven't followed it, it's on Thursday nights. You can follow it here on V8 Veterans as well as on SimSpeed. Joining me tonight in commentary, I am luckily enough to be joined by a crack commentary team. And myself, I'm Bruce McLeod, for those that don't know me. And along with me is also Mr. Ed Cullen. Hi, Ed.
Evening, everyone. Looking forward to this one.
And Mr. Sorry, Ed, go.
No, go for it.
No. And Mr. Brett Fisher down in the Isuzu hub.
How we going, guys? That was really smooth, Ed.
So you'll have to sort of bear with us to see where we are. So we're coming into the last 7 minutes of practice right now. And Ed and Brett, I'll go to you first. How do you think shaping up tonight, and where are things currently standing? Just as while I ask you that question, I'm going to bring up the timing so we can see where people are at. Brett.
It's got to go on, Brett.
Go.
No,
No,
you-
go. No, go.
It's going to be a very interesting series of races because we've got a combination of the 4 splits. Anyone that follows our Thursday night know that there's not a lot of time between these cars and between the splits. So it's going to be very interesting to see, especially around that split 2, split 3, and even split 4, some of the guys, to see how high they get up. Go, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, look, and if anyone watched the over 60s, they would have seen that the racing in the over 60s was very, very close, and the actual splits themselves actually sort of started to meld into a bit of a one. So let's keep an eye out and see what happens tonight, because we've got what have we got? 36 competitors out there at the moment. So we are in for a real treat here with the over 50s. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. And as you said, Ed, over the 4 splits, we're starting to see some really good stuff already.
Still a few cars out on track at the moment. We've, as we wind down to the last 5 minutes of the session, we're currently watching Andrew Listener come out of pit lane and Brett O'Brien. So a few boys still trying to get their last runs in the last 5 minutes. Currently, we've got Matt Vanderkraan leading the charge with a 2:07.55 from Michael Stewart running in P2. So interesting. Gen 3, this is the first time here at Mount Panorama for this car. I know we've all been doing laps this week in preparation for Thursday. How are we finding it, Ed?
Very confusing. It's, setting other cars up. You're going forward on the brake bias, going back on the brake bias, improving all the time. We've got the throttle mapping to play with now. So, you just don't jump in and, do something expecting, that's good. Because if you try something different, you'll even go even quicker. So a lot of experimentation will pay off here.
I also found, I've only done one night of testing so far and found the car, completely different to Gen 2. Very, very twitchy, very unsettled at the moment. That's possibly driving style and all that stuff. Still trying to figure out braking points and trying to get around the track in a reasonable time. I've only just cracked into the 2 minutes and 9 seconds, so got a long way to go compared to some of these guys. These guys are already out. The top, we're looking at the top 12 are all in the 207. So we've got, as you said before, Bruce, Matt Vanderkraan at 207.055, Michael Stewart with the 207.138, Sean Van der Meulen with the 207.284, Stephen Kennedy with a 207.406, Andrew Hoffman, nice to see him up top there with a 207.469, Dean Faval at a 207.512, Stuart Hall with a 207.621, Chris Blanchard with a 207.706, Lorne Mackay with a 207.736, and just to round out the top 10, Jeff Thomas with a 207.47. He thinks he's a jet plane.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, right? So literally those bottom 4 places all within those 207.7s brackets. So it's going to be super tight. I think one thing I'm expecting here at Bathurst is to see a bit more of a spread of lap times, particularly across the splits. And this race here brings all those 4 splits together. So we're going to see a lot of variation in the pace between the guys at the front and the guys at the back. I'm expecting to see battles all the way up and down the field, though. But what you can sort of see, our slowest driver at the moment is Bruce Galloway running a 2:12.5. So definitely a big coverage. That's like a 6.5 second coverage across. And what I think is really interesting about this is we didn't see anything near that in our last round at Sebring of the splits. So it was like, I think, a second and a half covering almost all 4 splits. So definitely a much bigger spread, which is going to make things interesting. And we sort of go for that. So we've got 2 minutes left to run in this practice, so the drivers are probably all getting to do their pre-race briefings. And for those that are new, haven't watched a Vets race before, this race does have live race control and stewarding, with a no-tow rule and manual safety cars in effect.
Bruce, as you said, that the Sebring we saw over the 4 splits, did you say there was how much? You want 1.7 second?
Yeah, something like that. It's something really, really close. And for some reason, I'm just sorry, for some reason, I know some of the drivers don't have the Vets banners on for this particular event. So
they might be running the not right skins on the Monday night. I don't know. But yeah, just to sort of reiterate what you're saying there, Bruce, 1.7 seconds over 4 splits, that is amazing. That's amazingly tight. And I think, as I talked about on Saturday night with Hamish, that what we're finding in the splits themselves, in the actual groups, that the racing is a lot tighter. So you're not going to get those guys come cruising through, who sort of come off the track and they're a lot faster and just bolt through the pack. They're all going to stay a lot closer. It's going to be harder to pass. It's going to be harder to stay with the guys, knowing they're so close.
So I'm just taking a moment to put some banners on the cars that don't have them, with a slightly different flavour. Yeah, I will do, mate. I have the power, so I'm going to do that. It wouldn't mean I need to reload some of them, which I'm not going to do that. So that as practice comes to an end, we're going to hit on qualifying, and because of the power of not being in the race in iRacing, we'll actually get to watch a qualifying lap. So I'm going to ask the gentleman, who do we want to watch in qualifying?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. Pick one. Pick one.
Can I just a quick shout out to Mark Horton there, our split 3 driver sitting in 12th spot. So it goes to show you how I think Mark had a really good race last Thursday. So that's an awesome time to be mixing it with all split 2 and split 1 guys up the top there. So yeah, great job.
And one thing I will point out, if you do see a RaceKraft Mustang sitting in pit lane, that is my car. It is actually visible only to me and not anyone else in the race.
Should have expecting P1.
Why don't we go? Let's go with Pete Baxter.
All right.
Check car 333 too.
Why don't we go for the first lap with Mr. Matty Vanderkrant, and let's watch how Fast Guy does it, and then we can go for Pete Baxter for the second one. So one other thing I'm just going to do, as much as I'm going to make a point of going in car. So we'll watch him outside for his out lap, we'll watch in car, and then we'll watch Pete Baxter put a lap around. So question from the chat is how many laps and how many pit stops? So one thing I know, let me just turn off that. One thing we do know is that the normal Vets races has 2 compulsory pit stops. This particular round has 1. So it's 1 compulsory pit stop. And how many laps have we got? I have the 42 laps from last week burned into my head.
No, 29 laps.
So yeah, it's got here about an hour, 45 minutes, 29 laps.
Yeah, so 29 laps. 29 laps unofficially. And
absolute carnage
29 laps of carnage. And on Thursday, it's going to be a much longer run. It's going to be a 300 Ks on Thursday, which is going to be almost 1/3 of a Bathurst 1000. So that will definitely keep us busy.
Yeah, definitely need to lie down after that one.
Yeah. Although at least here, you do get a bit of a break going up and down the hill. So it's actually
It's
actually not too bad.
not if 5 blokes are trying to tussle around you going down Conrod. It could get quite stressful, boys. Thinking, how's 5 going to go into 1 going through the chase?
All right, let's go on board with Mr. Matty Vanderkraan as we watch this lap. Hey, stop it. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I was going to say, who you talking to? Whatever. Have I done something wrong already, Bruce?
No, it's not you, it's me. I'm talking to myself because it's putting it onto the most exciting, which we don't want to do. I definitely don't want to watch Mark Dial. He's not the most exciting person in the fleet. Let's go to Matty Vanderkraan and watch him do his lap.
Important to get
with Stuart Hall.
I'm with Matt Vanderkraan, so he's coming down to turn 1. Oh, a little bit sideways on the exit. That's pretty normal as you're trying to punch out of there pretty quickly. 160, 190, 200 Ks already coming up over the Petters. Is it a hump? I don't know. Under the Petters sign as you go up the mountain, coming in on the left, looking for the braking marker on the left, trying to keep the power in, back to around 130. Now this is normally a 60 zone 2-way on a day on a weekday. Coming up into the cutting down to 90 Ks, coming out, watching the kink here at this bump. I hate that bump. Wish they'd update the scan and get rid of it. Under the Fujitsu sign, coming across through Solomon Park, heading down towards the Great. A bit of a lift there as he comes across. Back on it again, turning in early, coming into Skyline. Oh, up on the berm, pushing it. Oh, under the Coates High sign, coming down through the S's, into the dipper.
Plenty of wheel work going on there.
Yeah, plenty of wheel work, but the car's nice and straight and clean. Now, coming down into Forest Elbow, where I did a Dick Johnson in practice earlier in the week, hit the Falcon fence and then went off what would have been to the trees, but there's a fence there to stop me. Coming down Conrod. Now, this is an interesting change right here, is that Conrod is now, depending on setup, it's not necessarily dead flat anymore. So, what's Matt going to do? Oh, yeah, big lift as he comes in. Round in third. As he comes down to not Hell Corner, comes down to Murray's. Now, let's go and find Ed's friend, Mr. Peter Baxter, and see where he's up to. Where's his number? There he is. Oh, interesting. Peter's just coming out of the pits now. So, do we have 3 quality laps or 2?
It's got 3 here. It's got 3 qualifying laps now. I've just seen Matt Vanderkraan. He's across the start-finish line. He's pulled up and he's gone back to pits, so he's going to go and have another fresh crack.
Yeah, so this is I think what's interesting with this 3-lap format. Me personally, it's I screw up and get 1 lap in when I quali, but I think the go fast strategy is use those 3 laps to do an out lap, do a flying lap, pause, get a set of freshies, and then do another out lap and go again. Ed?
I was just going to say, people are watching, that was a 206.815 by Matt. So he's quick. In the 206, he's the quickest on track at the moment.
Yeah, and that was our provisional pole lap that we saw. So Jeff Thomas is almost, I was going to say a full second away because I saw the 7, but no, he's a good half second away from Matt.
Okay. And look how close they are, Stephen Kennedy at a 4.7. Matt Horton, my boy, he's at 5.6. So he's got a cracker out there at the moment.
Yeah, Chris Blanchard at 207.684. Stuart Hall 207.876. Michael Stewart 207.896. So
close, Brett. So close.
Yeah, look, the top there's so if you have a look at that, not not counting Matt Van Tran. So if you look at, there is 10 cars within a second of that like a 207 366. So it's fairly close there.
And
Over a large lap, you know.
one thing I can definitely see here when as I watch Pete do his lap is you can definitely see that Pete just simply doesn't have the track time under his belt yet that Matt does. You can see Pete obviously knows Bathurst very, very well, but you can still see this car track combination still not there, even though that was an outlap. You can just sort of see the confidence wasn't there across the top. Let's see in this flying lap, see how Pete goes, and see what he can do.
I was going to make a comment too, guys, that, you know, a lot of guys start practicing about Monday for the Thursday race. So some of these guys, most probably first time tonight or second time in the car at this track combo.
So I might add too, Ed, that some of these guys start practicing a year before the rounds.
When you look how many series have they been, how many times they've been around this track, and it doesn't really matter what car you're in. You know, the more familiar you become with the track, the better you get at it, and also, you know, how you can push the most out of every car that you drive. So they're probably a lot more used to being on the limits.
They're very tight, in fact.
Where are we?
It's a bit close to the wall. I did see him in the 7s. I think it was the 8s in practice.
Well, he's not far off his practice time there. He did practice at a 208.9.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And he's done a lap at a 209.04, and he's done in the qualifying at the stage a 9.54. So he's not fast off his practice time at this stage.
So I'm trying to just bring up the sectors, but because we've got this situation of outlaps and fast laps, I can't really get the current lap. So because Matt's last lap was a 141, so it's showing that Pete's up a massive 52 seconds in sector 1, which we know that he isn't, obviously.
Still, mate, let him feel good about that.
Yeah, he was 30 seconds up. All right, so how's Peter gone? So Pete's got a timing. So Pete's got a 208.7. So that's actually a very reasonable time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So even though Matt's on the pole's on a 206, that's a really good time for Pete to put him in P16. So as quali comes to an end, we're just going to wait for a little bit before we go to the grid. Is there anyone out on track? I'm guessing your answer is no.
I've still got a couple of people out on track.
Oh, no, we do. And that's a blown engine.
So Pete Kelleher's still out on track. Brent O'Brien, he's just pulled up. Who else have we got here? Matty Parker. He's just getting towards the end of his lap now. Jamie Peters is still on a lap. And we have run out of time, unfortunately, so... So that is going to bring the qualifying to an end.
And now we're going to, as we go to our warm-up, let's have a look when I can learn to drive the controls. Bear with me one moment. Let's
Just
have a
smash the
look.
keyboard with your forehead.
Just smash the keyboard with my forehead, you think?
Yeah.
Let's see if that works.
Don't damage a keyboard, Mark. Right.
Why is this not working? I'm trying to bring up my grid and it's not doing what I want to do. Please bear with me, viewers, while I just try and see.
So,
just talk about yourselves.
Yes. So, Brett, anyone in the list there that you reckon's done an awesome job?
Oh, well, they've all done an awesome job to get the cars around. I mean, for one. Look, how can you go past Matt Vanderkran with the 206?
Yeah,
8 by
amazing.
1. Like, I mean,
Amazing.
he's blasted around there. So, I mean, you know, you get what favourites you're going to pick at this stage? Well, Matt Vanderkran's going to have to be a favourite, isn't he? You know, like
Yeah.
at that sort of time. It just
But
depends on whether he gets the car away off the starting grid cleanly and gets, you know, a lap or so on the way cleanly without getting caught up in anything. Other than that, like everyone else is incredibly close to.
yeah, look at that. Like I said, I mentioned before, Mark qualifying 5th there, which, like I said, we're talking about a split 3 driver here, sitting in 5th spot. So that's an awesome job, isn't it?
No, it's not going to let me shot. I don't know why.
Who else we're looking at? I was impressed with Mark's time, Mark Dival. He's got to look like a PB there to slot himself in the top 20. So well done, Mark.
I know why. Now we have a look at our grid, gentlemen. So on pole, we have Matt Vanderkran on pole with a 206.8, half a second away from Jeff Thomas in P2. On the second row of our grid, we've got Michael Stewart ahead of Stephen Kennedy from M1 Racing. Mark Houghton is ahead of Chris Blanchard in P5 and P6. Ed, are you able to see this?
Yes, I can, mate.
Do you want to jump on the next row? After we talk about Sean Van der Meulen and Dean Favell, who are row 7 and row 8.
Okay, in 5th spot, we got Mark Horton. In 6th, we got Christopher Blanchard. And then we got Shane Van der Meulen and Dean Favell.
We're up to P9, Ed, so just scored.
Oh, wrong.
So Stuart, yeah, I'll take
Oh,
it.
sorry, mate. Wrong
You
palette.
Oh, good.
Mate. Stewie Hall, Lorne McKee in 10th at the moment. That rounds out our top 10.
Beautiful.
P11 in row 11 and P11 on row 5, we've got Brenton O'Brien ahead of Andrew Hoffman.
Zippy Zeal and
Nice.
Darren Crosby in 13 and 14.
And
That's a lockout.
Rocked out row
from
7 for AJR. What could go wrong?
Look at that. A couple of teammates
everything.
together.
You with us, Ed?
Yeah, so we've got Craig Healy up in 15, which is another fantastic effort. Pete Baxter next to him in 16.
Continuing to go, we now have Scott McKenzie and Wayne Reynolds on 7 and 18. I'm back to you, Edwards.
What have we got? Rick Viger down in 19, which is a bit unusual. Watch out for him coming through the field. Mark Dial back in 20.
I don't know why it's showing M1 racing car for Mark Dial, but anyway.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I was going to say.
Let me bring that up and just quickly click through this again till we get to. Hey, I broke it.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
we've got
good.
lots of cars coming.
Right.
When we get to, we got to split 20.
So
21.
this is why the guys from SimSpeed don't let me anywhere near their broadcasts.
We have the best budget here.
There we do. It says P9, P10, 11 and 12. You know what? There's 3 AJR cars right next to each other. Craig Healy, Pete Baxter.
Go wrong.
That's a really good looking coast-to-coast livery. I just want to look at it again. I don't know why I think Mark Dial in P20 is in an M1 Racing livery, but there you go.
Oh, maybe he's
maybe.
converted.
Yeah, maybe Mark's not told us something.
We've got Darryl Callahan ahead of Jeremy Bush in P22. Jamie Peters and Roy Clark. Oh, Mark outlying Roy. Richard Barella and Reg James. There's a problem there we'll have to sort out as well. We've got Jason Dunn and Derek Lovegrove. Andrew Lister, Jeff Sanford, Andrew Johnson, and Peter Morris ahead of Darren Friend. And we're going to quickly keep going because they should set the grid to a bit of a longer warm-up. Oh my God, it's connecting. So I'm going to say Bruce Callaway, Joseph Greenshaw,
everyone to round 1.
Scott Gamble.
Oh, come on, Scotty, pull your finger out.
Is doing race control. Matty Parker hasn't set a time. Luke Allman. Then we have our safety car being Luke Neville. And Peter Kelleher starting from the back of the bridge. So there you go.
Pete never got a time yet?
No, it did not.
A reminder that pit entry is open during the entire race. However, the pit exit will be
Like Matty
closed
Parker never did
when
too.
the safety car
so.
crosses the start-finish line and then reopens when the last car following the safety car passes.
So it looks like about 40 on the grid. It's going to be a
Cars that are
very
one lap or more
interesting.
down will have the opportunity for a
All right.
Be interesting
Please
to see
remember,
the
when a
front runners
recorded
coming
incident,
through.
Call out for
Maybe
race
halfway
through the
control
race.
and your car number. We will then acknowledge and ask for details of the incident. Please keep the race comms to minimum and only use the contact with race control when possible. If you receive a
Boys
penalty
are starting to line up.
during the race,
Yep,
race
they are.
control will be available after the race for clarification. Please respect blue flags and
Now, I will
exercise
say,
caution,
after running in
especially
the
on lap
60s one
at
earlier,
turn one.
heap of
Good
fun.
luck all and have a
It's got a different feel to these races.
Race
It's
control car 333.
We're very competitive, but there was more like,
333.
it was more like a race of friends
May
and
I ask
mates.
what you're wearing?
So we sort of looked after each other, and it was just more of a fun of race. Even though we are competitive, we just, I know that 60s one, there was a lot of fun. Had a great series.
So what's interesting there, we just had the call from Zippy Zeal asking Race Control what they're wearing.
Oh, I didn't quite hear what he asked. I was wondering whether he was going to ask if there's anyone got a fuel can lying around.
No, he's asking. He's asking what are you wearing.
Pit stop too, just a reminder, guys. Only one.
So it's a reminder there's one compulsory pit stop.
I've just got it. We got Zippy's chat's been disabled.
Unlimited safety fast repair solid.
No, we run a little bit more lax, and it looks like they've got unlimited fast repairs as well. So normally we have one in the main game. So I think things are just a little bit more casual here on a Monday night.
Yeah, let's hope they look after each other out there with so many cars on the track, because it can be a lot of fun swinging the gate, racing side by side around this place.
Yep.
And I think that's it. Have a bit of fun while we're doing it.
Yeah. You're not going 110, you're only going 90, sort of. Well, we'll soon see.
All right.
Well, there's a decently packed field out there, ready to get going. We're just waiting for starters' orders. I think I'm not sure how far away we are away. Probably only about 30 seconds or so.
They're on the lights now.
Oh,
Green flag.
Green flag. We're off.
and we're away.
We're off and racing.
Heading down to the
Just
turn.
just on the outside of Matt Vanderkram.
Yeah.
Nice bit of racing room there.
Nice and respectful. It's mostly 2 wide, no 3 wide at this stage.
Yeah, this is Jeff Thomas really needs to, and I'm not sure whether he's going to. He needs to put the pressure on Matt Vanderkram straight away. Otherwise, he's got the opportunity to sort of pull a little bit of the gap. So it'll be interesting to see whether Jeff Thomas can stick it to Matt.
I'm just going to quickly jump back to Zippy Zeal because it's telling me that he may have crashed off the line. So let's just have a quick look. Was there anything going on? No, it all looks fine. Let's get back up the front.
Everything looks pretty clean and tidy so far, doesn't it?
It does.
Which is great to see.
So Matt Vanderkram just pulling about 6/10 out on Jeff Thomas at the moment. So he's just sort of pulling away ever so slightly, but Michael Stewart's right on Jeff Thomas's ginger at the moment.
Yep. We're just tracking Jamie Peters and P24, who's right in the thick of the action at the moment. Let's just go back up and have a look at our leader. Let's see what's going on at the front. Matty Vanderkram got a nice little lead out to 0.6 seconds, leading the pack down from Jeff Thomas, Michael Stewart, Steve Kennedy and Mark Houghton are our 5 as we come across the line.
So first lap down of 29. So all looking pretty neat and tidy
Oh,
here at the moment.
Looks like someone's had it off on the last turn. Let's see who that was. Oh, they're all back on.
It's a nice move. Jamie Peters getting up the inside there. I don't know who that is behind you. On board now with Peter Morris. Darren Freer coming up. As we jump around following this action.
Yeah, Bruce, commentator's curse on Jamie Peterson's. He had just a bit of a lose on the last turn, went from lost about 3 or 4 spots, collected it, and he's back on. That was the last turn.
It's actually nice to see John Van Ree out here too, actually having a crack and just taking a night off from being in the commentary booth, doing all the other things that he has to do in the Vets League. So it's good to see him out here actually having a bit of fun on track as well.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know about used to, but, I felt, let John go and have some fun and let's take up the reins and, let Johnny boy have some fun, eh?
Yeah, no, he definitely needs it. I'm just trying to find him. So John's currently running in P36 in the WKNP Story Sheet livery. Matt Van der Kraan goes across the line, sitting at 2079. Ed?
I was going to say, we promise not to show any silly little mistakes that he makes and give him the commentator's curse. Bit of commentator revenge.
So just for context, that last lap, Matt Van der Kraan did a 207.930. Jeff Thomas did a 208.102. So there's only 2 tenths in between those two guys at the moment. And then further back to Michael Stewart is a 208.593 in his last lap. So a little bit of difference between these guys. So hopefully they can keep it. Matt Van der Kraan's just now starting to pull a little bit of a gap on these guys.
Those times are tight.
Going back up the front, tracking Jeff Thomas.
And at the end of this series, the winning driver gets to take the coveted gold race banner home with them and put them on their car for their V8 Vets series. Just having a look at Andrew Hoffman and Darren Crosby at the moment. They've got a nice little battle going on here.
It's not the way I wanted to go. Oh, what do you got going on here?
There was someone there on the side of the road there.
That's looking to me like Mal Houghton.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah,
he's rolling in the pit. Yeah,
he's fallen down the ladder.
Let's go back and have a look and see what happened. So he's coming to the chase. All looks good at this point. Comes through. Oh, he's blown an engine. He's done an engine with the engine braking coming down into the Caltex chase.
So he'd be looking at to try and roll it into the pits, actually.
Yep, and pick up that fast repair. That's unfortunate for Mark. This is just rolling in now.
So Pete Baxter Pete Baxter running in 15th spot at the moment. He's coming under a bit of pressure from Scott McKenzie. He's right on his tail there going into the Bloody go blank on corners nowadays. Unbelievable. In dementia already.
Coming up out of the chase. So,
over the top of the mount they go. Car gets really, really light.
Yeah, race control. Press the tape.
Oh, Mark Horton has just requested a tow.
Oh, well, this maybe be a safety car.
Laid out.
why is he requesting a tow? Oh, was it Mark?
Well, that's the name I've seen come up on my screen.
So I've got Bruce Galloway here getting a meatball. So let's go back and have a quick look.
Mark Horton is in pits.
As he comes in, I broken, hit the wall.
All right, so Bruce has hit the wall going up.
Let's go back to our leader.
We got Mark still in the pits at the moment.
So Matt Vanderkrant still running around with that lead. Now out to 1.4 seconds.
Car 572, you have permission to play.
Oh, he's been allowed to tow. So that was 572. So it's definitely Mark Houghton. So interestingly, he must have... Did he not make it to his pit bay? I'm not quite so sure. Oh, something's happened to Scott McKenzie.
Oh, he's around.
Let's go back and have a look and see what happened there.
Coming out of the chase, he's all right. Nice and close to Pete Baxter.
Yep.
I wonder whether he's gone for a move or is he just locked up on, or just overgassed
look.
on the way out.
It's the latter.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, overgassed it on the way out. That can happen very, very easily.
That's so easy to do. We go back live.
Oh,
Now on board with Michael Stewart in P3. As he chases down Jeff Thomas.
Just keep an eye on Matt Vanderkram up front as well. He's starting to pull a bit of a gap on these guys now, so these guys are going to have to try and reel him in somehow.
So there goes Matt. That's 2.1. This little gaggle for second, third, and fourth. I can count. I can English good. Meanwhile, let's jump down the back and see how the battle for the ages is going on. Jumping and having a look at car currently P20, which is Roy Clark. So this is the battle for 19, 20, well, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Roy being chased by Jeremy Bush behind him, Darryl Callahan, and then Mark Dial ahead of him. And then a bit of a gap back to Richard Barella. It's interesting to see how the splits get mixed up. Like, it definitely isn't a case of split one, then split two, then split three. It's definitely all a bit mixed up in the standings. As you watch them come across the top.
Yeah, well, and that's what happened with the guys on the over 60s too. The splits weren't, split evenly. They were all mixed up, which is great to see. It's proving to show some good racing.
Yeah, just so you can see what I've just put on. I haven't got everyone. I missed Jeff out, but what I can do on the timing tower, I've hijacked their hometown. I've missed a couple. I've missed Jeff Thomas, Lord McKee, a couple of late joiners to the league. Where you can actually see where I've put the splits they're in. So Chris Blanchard in P5 and Sean Vandermeulen, they're currently split from split 2, definitely punching up well above their weight. So we've got a good mix up the front with those split 1 and split 2 drivers. Our first split 3 driver looks like it's Craig Healy back in P14.
Yeah, nice job, Craig.
Let's just quickly jump and have a look at Craig. Yeah, he's just out by himself, doing what he needs to do.
Darren Crosby now starting to put a little bit of pressure on Andrew Hoffman as well as they come onto Mountain Straight. And Stuart Hall sitting right behind as well. So there's a little pack of 3 that's a nice little battle going on out there.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that I know Hoffy loves. This is going to be a master of fuel saving around here.
Hoppy's a master of fuel saving everywhere.
These guys not really making a challenge for each other at the moment. They're just, I think they'd probably be quite happy to sit nose to tail at this stage, just wind down some laps.
Yeah, what did we say? 29 laps. So yeah, doesn't sound like much, but around here, it's a fair hike.
Yeah, we're on lap 7 of 29.
Great overlay there, by the way, Bruce, to see which splits the boys are in.
You like that? Just a shame the couple of those boys joined late and I didn't get them in there. Because I did grab everyone out of the league. So they've obviously been rushed in at the last minute. So just watching these times that come across the top. So Hoffy's definitely, it's interesting. He's definitely pulled a bit of time in those first 2 sectors, but that gap overall is remaining pretty constant. One thing I've noticed about these cars running close is that there definitely isn't a strong draft with Gen 3 compared to Gen 2. And also, A, because it's fixed setup, but B, with these cars in particular, you don't have a mix of high downforce, low downforce setup. So everyone's running the same setup, which means everyone has the theoretical same top speed. The main difference being how good you get an exit out of Forest Elbow. Let's jump back up the front and have a look at that battle that's going on.
Well, I was just having a quick look there, and the lap previous, Matt Vanderkram had about a 4/10 quicker time than the other guys. This time around is only about there's only 1/10 between himself and Jeff Thomas, and Michael Stewart is back about another couple of tenths as well. So maybe it looks like Jeff Thomas might be starting to break away from these guys in 3rd and 4th. So he might be starting to look like he might take a challenge to Matt Vanderkram. So let's keep an eye on that.
Yep. So that battle we were looking at before, it's definitely closing up. So that's now down. There's down to a tenth between Hoffy and Darren Crosby. Stuart Hall's joining the battle as well.
Bruce, have we got a overlay for the gain spaces, the game spots?
Yeah, we can do that. Give you a minute and I can tell you the...
Awesome, thank you, sir.
Somewhere here, there is a...
It'd be nice to see some early movers and groovers.
There should be, if I can find the thing.
Some hard luck stories already.
Where is it? It was here. No, it's got to find it. And...
Anybody think this is the first time you've done it?
Shush. Nope, it's not that one. And... No, can't find it. Well, it's here somewhere. I've just got to find what it is.
Well, you broke it before, so maybe you broke it before you even displayed it.
I can give you the start reaction time. I can give you the number of Joker laps they have. Haha.
Joker laps.
Okay, so just while you're looking for that, Bruce.
There you go.
just
I can
the
show you down the
motorway-
right hand side. There you go. So
Right. Okay.
Wow, Matty Parker up 14 spots. Peter Callis 7. Derek Lovegrove 5. And Roy, Mr. Clark, up 4. So now watching some of our other races in Gen 3, generally a lot of guys have jumped quite a few spots. So Matty Parker's having a ripper start.
So just to keep an eye on what's going up front, don't have to fly up there at all, but it's just Matt Van Cramp's last lap was a 208.176, so he's back on the charge again. And then Jeff Thomas did a 208.702, so there's plenty of time difference there. So he's now pushed that gap back out again further.
so I want to go back and have a look at this battle back down here.
Join
Oh,
up.
Oh, hang on, we've just come across someone.
we have. Oops, hang on,
Pete
let me,
Baxter.
let me go back to live again, and I'll quickly jump to that. It is Pete Baxter.
Oh, no. Oh, Pete.
Wait.
Oh,
On the bump.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
that's going to hurt.
Certainly is.
That one will
He's
catch you out. Yeah.
He's still got his car going. He's just going to have to wait for all those cars to go past. So that's the most painful part about having a spin there.
And he was going so well, too.
So
He
is
was going exceptionally well.
So
Cautional card at turn
Especially for the better looking back.
Okay, he's just finally got the car around.
caution cleared.
let's go back to live.
So he was in 15th when he had that spin, so he would have lost a lot of spots.
He would have. So Pete's still recovering.
Stuart Hall having a little bit of a look on the inside of Darren Crosby going down the straight there. So that battle's closed right up now between Darren Crosby, Stuart Hall, and Hoppy's actually managed to pull a little bit of a gap, but the gap is also closed between Lorne McKenzie and Brent O'Brien.
So what I'm finding interesting and challenging about this right now is that we are at week 2, and I'm not live, so just let me go live. And I don't recognise all the new liveries. So normally, you know, the guys you're racing with, you know exactly what's going on. I'm actually struggling right now to know pick from eye which car is which, particularly with the other splits. All right, so let's have a look. There's this massive, this battle for the ages still continues. So this is Stewie Hall on the back of Darren Crosby on the back of Hoffy. So just trying to think who is the meat in the bottle here. Or the cork in the bottle. That's meat in the bottle? What is that? Meat in the bottle. Meat in the sandwich, cork in the bottle.
What did you have for tea tonight, Bruce?
Unbelievable.
So I think what's interesting is what's going to happen in regard to pit strategy here. So we're on lap 10, so we're getting into the window. Sort of with 80 litres, there's no rush to get in. What would you be doing, Brett? What's your strategy going to be?
I haven't done enough testing to see how far tyres go off and stuff like that. But considering it's one pit stop, so I don't know whether there's an overcut or undercut or whatever at this point. So I'd almost be thinking a nice even split, or we'll just try and go a little bit longer and get some fresh tyres for the closing part of the race.
Ed?
They're doing a full fuel run the other night there with 80 litres. It was around 15 laps, so that would have been me. I would have run in dry and then just nice even wear over the race for the 2 sets of tyres.
So this is another little battle pack we've got going on with Jamie Peters, Richard Barella and Andrew Listener.
But I didn't find this track as hard on tyres, say, as Sebring. So,
Yeah, they definitely cool down. I think depending where I am. Here we go. As goes for the move.
Oh, nice little. Can he get it done? Can he get
Oh!
it looked like a tad touch there, but
So that's the racer's view, whereas the real commentators will be, oh my god, he's put him into the wall. That's what old Scotty would be saying.
no, it was just
just a light touch.
But in saying that, you get a little touch going up there, and it can make the back of your car come down.
Oh, there's nothing.
So a little battle of I'm looking at the moment, and they've just come up on lap traffic at the moment. He's got past Sean Van der Meulen and not Bruce Galloway, Dean Faval. They're in 6th and 7th at the moment, and that battle has been going on for a number of laps now. And it looked like Sean Van der Meulen was a little bit slower than Dean each lap, probably about 1 or 2 tenths. So he might be looking for a challenge there very, very shortly.
So the big question is, when do you dive in? Do you dive
around
in?
Lap 15.
Do you drive in and try for an undercut, or do you try and save behind and go for an overcut?
We're on lap 11, and do you have can you see whether anyone else has anyone else pitted at this stage?
No one has pitted yet, because the lovely pit timing tower will come up and tell us. So we're yet to see that. So looking at our last 3 lap times, Sean is definitely running a little bit slower on the 2 laps, but managed to pull that 10th back. So there's nothing in it really. Both doing low to mid 208s.
Well, Chris Blanchard, who's only just a little bit up the road from us, did a 209.481 that last lap around. So he's just a little bit off the pace there in position 5. So I'm sure Sean, over the next couple of laps, might be able to close that gap.
Yeah, so this is Chris Blanchard sort of out running by himself. But if we go up 1 spot and have a look at this Michael Stewart, Kennedy, Jeff Thomas battle. So this is still raging for Ps 2, 3 and 4.
So Matty Parker continues to collect spots. He started in 40th. He's now in 22nd. So
working his way
18?
up.
Yeah, 18. The other one was JVR. Started in 36. He's 6. He's up to 31. So there's a nice little 5-spot gain for John.
But I'm just seeing these little battle packs all up and down. I'll jump and look at John in a minute. So we've got this battle pack here. We've got this pack here for 10th, 11th and 12th. Still raging.
Yeah, it's a huge battle pack, that one. It's all starting to come together.
That's not the big one. The big one we have has this mob here, which is Roy Clark in the middle of it, Jeremy Bush behind, Darryl Callahan, Mark Dial, and Wayne Reynolds. So we got this little train here of... Look at it.
So Mark's up 3 spots, so he's
doing
gone well. Yeah,
he'd be happy with his race so far.
Yeah, he's in 17th, started 20th. Rick Vigo, like I said, started 19th, he's in 15th, so there's a 4-spot gain.
If I was Roy, I'd be undercutting here. I'd be really thinking about that next stop.
Anything there, Bruce, you don't want to be on the last 3 laps with donuts.
Yeah,
tyres.
Yeah, we think when we did your race here, Ed, we went long, just to be honest, as a test for how long we could run.
Yeah.
And you can definitely long wrong, but I'm just looking at this. There's no way I don't see anyone passing this on the road, so I just think what's going on. And while I think of it, we have pit stops have started. So Darren Crosby has gone in the lane. Darren Free has gone to the lane. Scott McKenzie is in the lane, and we now have Joseph Grenshaw in the lane as we speak. So I the normal rounds of stops have started.
And I'll tell you what, Matt Van Cran, he's still out in front, and he's a long way out in front. He's at he's 4.7 seconds. He's got a lead over this field at this stage, and he's still he's punching out times. His last lap on lap 12 was a 2:08.147, which is his third fastest lap for the race. So he's not mucking around. He's getting out there and he's putting it to the guys.
He's getting a bit comfortable now. So some of these guys that had a bit of grief earlier on and had to pit earlier on, it'd be interesting to see if they filled up to go to the
Kennedy
end.
Steve Kennedy just diving into the pits now, so he's taking an early stop.
Speaking of having drama, it looks like Jason Dunn may have had an issue. Let's go back and have a look.
Looked like he had an earlier one too.
No, he's just coming in pit lane in this replay. So, oh no, that's what he did. He did have an issue. Oh, he went in to go to the pit lanes and missed it. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Oh no, Jays.
Does he still get an unsafe pit entry for that when he comes in next time?
No,
He
avoided it. And so we're currently on board with those boys that are coming in. So they did listen to me. We've got Stephen Kennedy, Stuart Hoy, Roy Clark, and Jeremy Bush coming in. So the boys at the back of that pack coming in. It's like an order.
Cars, caution, turn 18. Caution, turn 18.
There's a caution. Race controls has called a caution for turn 18 at this stage, but also Dean Favel has actually closed up that gap to Sean Vandermeulen. So he's right on his ginger at the moment, coming over the top of the mountain. So that challenge is starting to really put some pressure on each other there.
Stewie Hall comes out in the middle of this pack. Now, I'm going to bring up on our little tower. I'm going to bring up so we can see who has pitted and who has not.
Have you broken it again, Bruce?
Yeah, I broke it again. No, so what I've got is the pit stop counting. So we can basically see that none of the top 16 have stopped yet. The first of our stoppers is sort of down in P24, which is Darren Crosby. So Darren Crosby and Stuart Hall are the first of those leaders.
Pete Keller, just watching Pete Keller come over the top of the mountain. He's just clipped the wall a little bit. He's still going straight. He's just getting past Peter Morris. Yeah, he's still holding, and Darren Friend in a bit of a train there, but he clouded the wall with a bit of a ferocity there for a second. Dave Galley just in behind these guys as well. So this is all back in 30.
What are we on, lap 15? So yeah, did they start with 80 litres, guys?
Yeah, they did. I think.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm pretty sure
will come in on lap 20, but the rest of them will come in about lap from now on in.
Sure, it's going to be lap 20 and not lap 28 for Hoffy. I wouldn't put it past him.
He'll have to come in for a quick splash and dash on the last lap.
So Peter's definitely carrying a little bit of damage on that left front. From that, I don't know if it's from that old location. So a little bit of marking there on the car. It doesn't look too bad.
So Michael Stewart's in. He's just leaving pits. Sean Vandermeulen's in. Mark Dials in. Callahan's in. And Lovegrove's in at the moment.
So that those mid-packers now coming in.
Yep. So let's jump on with Mr. Dial. I was watching him as he comes out and see where he lines up. So this is that battle pack that we were seeing of cars, and there we go. So we've Jeremy and Roy have managed to get past Mark with those pit stops.
Did that earlier. But will that...
What was their pit times?
I can definitely tell you that. So Mark's time in the box was 24.1 compared to Roy's of a 26.6 and a 25.8 for Jeremy Bush. They all had very similar transit times. So Roy Clark was at 50, Jeremy was a 49.3, and Mark was a 48.9. So of all those cars, Mark definitely had the quickest stop of everyone. But
Okay, our leaders, sorry, Bruce, our leader's in pit lane, and also Jeff Thomas has come into pit lane right behind him, so that'll be something to watch. And Chris Blanchard in third, he's coming in as well. Oh, and we've got a car nearly turned around. Brendan O'Brien, who was in seventh spot, he's had a bit of a sideways action there, coming on to the front straight.
so it's going to be, while we watch these guys have their little battle, let's see. Yeah, I think
Oh, Zippy's staying out late.
Yeah,
So that was that 15 lap cut off I was telling them about, but looks like some of the guys who conserve their fuel.
oh, Jamie Peters just got black flags. Let's go back and have a quick look at this and what caused this. I think, is this the number of incidents or is this something else? I think this is going to be speeding in pit lane. Yep,
Did look quick.
and that's going to hurt.
40.
It's a 40-second penalty coming in pit lane.
Well, that was his second attempt at coming into pit lane, wasn't it?
Something like that. All right, let's go back up in front and see where we are. Let's go back to live. So this is Jeff Thomas, currently in P10. Matt Van der Kraan ahead of him in P9.
So we certainly have got some guys staying out. I'm just looking at Mark Dial, and he's now running in roughly 27th, where he was in 17th. So after his pit stop,
Yeah. So that gap is still out at 4.2. So this hasn't slowed Matt Van der Kraan down at all. He's still got a good, solid lead.
so Dean's still out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Where's Hoffy?
Or just
Where's
hearing,
Hoffy?
just,
Go ahead,
just
51.
hearing Hoffy calling in something.
in front blinking really
Hoffy's
bad.
up to 7.
Okay, someone in front of me's got some internet issues.
Acknowledged.
So Hoffy's in 7th spot now from 12th.
And speaking of Hoffy, Stuart Hall's all over the back of him right now.
Stewie's had a pit, so
And if I go one spot back behind Stewie Hall, is Mr. John Van Reet.
oh, Johnny's staying out.
Yeah, so he's second behind, just ahead of Roy Clark. Still yet to pit, so John's staying out long. So a late safety car would definitely help Mr. Van Reet at the moment.
So a few pretty much the stragglers coming in now for the rest of their pit stops. John might be the last car on the track that hasn't pitted.
No, I've still got a few. We've got Lon McKee, Rick Vigar, Andrew Listener, Dean Flavelle, Brenton O'Brien, Zippy Zeal, Craig Healy, and Richard Barella, and John yet to come in. So going again, looks like there's no drama from a fuel point of view. But let's go back.
Can we watch John just in case he runs out of fuel?
Sure, we'll stand him the whole race. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and have a look at this battle that's going on down here. So this is the continuation of that battle. Mark having a look, and if I just jump back a couple of positions, there's another battle. No, not that position.
Who was that?
Race control, car 66.
Sorry, guys.
Car
watching
66 is just
I'm just watching it on the screen.
Go ahead, car 66.
Lap 17, turn 2.
Who's that? Brenton O'Brien?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, there's a lot of things happening there.
Yeah.
There is. Let's go back and have a look at a
Three cars
replay
back.
and see if we can see what's going on.
Yeah. I got Darren Crosby.
He's
Aye,
facing the wrong way.
here we go.
Oh,
And he's come out big time and flipped Brent O'Brien there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm requesting.
I'm just watching Darren Crosby trying to get that car around on the track now, and it is it's struggling. It's struggling to turn around. He's
Safety car has come out.
Safety car.
So this is going to
he's
play.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the broken
he's
lawn.
running to break on that car.
Was in a really bad spot.
Yep.
You're going to close things up. Brent O'Brien's still on track. He's
Well
well
and
so-
no, Brenton's well and truly parked. We've gone back live now, and Brenton's definitely parked. So let's go and see how this plays out. I want to see how this plays out for not Jason
Oh.
Dunn. I want to see how this plays out for... Where is Mr. John Van Ree?
Right, how do
What do we do?
He's sitting in about 12th spot at the moment, I think.
Yeah,
John.
so here's John. So we're under full course yellow. Safety car yet to come out on the track.
Just be aware, drivers, that I've accidentally sent out the...
Quietly,
digital
210 last laps, not mucking around.
under the safety car.
Race
Not
control has
the
actually sent out the iRacing safety car at this stage. So
Here we go.
This will be,
Race control?
this will be interesting
Here
to
we
see what happens here.
Did you disqualify me?
Why's that, Brett?
Oh, here we go.
Well, there's going to be a mad scramble because there's two safety cars out on
So-
track.
so this-
Go past that.
Oh,
So
we
this
got
is
two.
this is going to be the battle for the ages, where we have the iRacing safety car versus the what am I calling it? Versus the McLaren GT3 human-driven safety car. So, to be honest, I trust the iRacing safety car more to not crash. And this will go for 3 laps. So the safety car, you can't actually pull it in
Oh,
straight
you
away.
can't intervene with
Hey,
it.
race
You
control,
you can, but it has to do a lap first.
I think we got Scotty Gamble in the... Have we got Scotty in there?
Yeah, Scotty's
In
in
the-
the booth pushing all the buttons. So
Yep.
Oh, so who's driving?
Can't
Is it
fall
Luke
zero.
driving the safety car?
Go ahead.
Which safety car? This safety car or the one behind?
Do the iRacing.
well, he's actually that's a
McLaren.
Tesla at the moment, so no one's driving that.
As I
thing.
entered the pit,
The McLaren.
it was closed.
No, it's not coming up with him.
Ah, so this is what's interesting. So the iRacing safety
Yeah.
car
It
uses
wants
the
to drop to end.
it uses the oval rules, and so what happens is one of the drivers has entered pit lane whilst iRacing has closed the entry.
Blown engine. No, straight.
So
Oh, John Van Ree's
There
just
we
calling
go.
a blown engine.
Oh, no. He didn't run out of fuel, did he?
Caro 14 when you got time.
I don't know, let's go back and have a look.
Oh no, he's still out there. Someone was calling a blown engine.
So
Still
I
down.
got the same.
Still down.
it's John. So John's this is John coming out.
Auto safety car. Will I drop back to the back? Or...
There we go. It's blown an engine
Oh,
coming.
bang. Was that after his pit stop?
Yep. I don't know what's happened
Oh, you-
there, but he's just had a freak engine failure coming out of the pits.
Well, everything's going haywire here right about now.
But where was John when that happened?
He was just coming out of the pits.
No, I just want to know what spot he was in. Because that's very all right, I'm just going to rewind it. Let's have a look.
Well,
See
well, our safety car is caught up to the iRacing safety car.
So when John's exited the pits,
Conrod straight.
So what I should be able to do is I should be able to go on the safety car, and I should be able to go in the chase camera. No, not that one. This one. And I was going to try and use this chase to look at that chase, but no, it's actually at the front of the car, not the back of the car. You would have thought they would have put a
Yeah,
camera.
we should be able to go out the back.
Yeah, we should. Just going to find which one it is, and I can't be bothered going around. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to go one car back. Oh no, I'm
so I
not.
had John in about 28,
Yeah, gearbox.
27 when he's...
Gearbox will give you the view at the back of the other safety car.
Oh, will it now?
Race control 1, car 140.
Even though,
ahead,
Brett,
car
the
140.
gearbox will show you the ground. It's not a
Requesting,
open wheeler with the motor at the back, but there we go.
requesting wave around.
Here we
Well,
go.
Scott Gamble he's under pressure. He's under pressure now. He's clearing black flags and all sorts of mayhem's going on here.
Yep, this is a very busy time for race control. So let's have a look and see how we are going for positions at the moment. So we've got let me follow this. We've got Matt Vanderkrant from Jeff Thomas, then Michael Stewart, Chris Blanchard, Sean Vandermeulen, Dean Flavel, Andrew Hoffman, Stuart Hall, Zippy Zeal up in P9, Craig Healy rounding out our top 10.
It zips up 4 spots. Craig Healy's up 5, so those boys are going really well. Well done, Craig. Split 3. Roy's up 13.
So apparently this is a conversation starter.
Jeremy's up 10. 7 for Mark, sitting in 13th. Awesome job by Mark there.
So has everyone completed their pit stops at this point?
Yes, they have.
Yep, so these are all actual positions at the moment. Now, what's going to be interesting is I wonder whether, so when we go, we've got a lap car coming up here that's going to try and get back onto the lead lap. What's going to be interesting here is Jeff Thomas. So is Jeff Thomas going to try and take the challenge to Matt Vanderkran and try and get in front of him in the first, few corners to try and hold him at bay a bit? Or is he just going to let him, status quo, let him just roll away in front again?
Black didn't clear that.
If he's going to do anything, he really needs to do something now, because this is an opportunity he has to try and sort of change the outcome of this race at this point.
Steve Kennedy must have had some issue. He started 4th. He's sitting in 21st at the moment.
So this safety car is going to go around again. The lights are still on, so it's it hasn't turned them off.
So I don't know what's going on with Mr. Dunn, but he's had 4 visits to pit lane so far. So
we're going to be here for at least another lap. So there is a button that you can push if you have the God rights. I don't have the God rights, so I can't push the button. That will shorten this by a lap.
Yeah, and we're on lap 19 at the moment, so we've only got 10 laps to run in this.
Well, it's still a fair.
It is going to be a flat-out sprint.
Yeah, it's still a fair race.
So yes. So while we're here, one thing we can do as we look at Mr. 333, which is Mr. Zippy Zeal, I'm going to take the time to have a look at what's on his bonnet. Where is he?
He was our split 2 chubby bun driver of the day last week.
Right.
So what do we got going on here?
We got a chook, a very large chook.
I suppose it's a chook being taken for a walk.
It's a big cock.
Of course it is.
Oh my goodness.
So while we're going to be here for a whole nother go around, why don't we take a quick look up and down the field?
Just a quick, Bruce, just a quick update on JVR.
Yeah.
I got a funny feeling he might have used the... Oh, no, you said they've got unlimited.
Yes, they have unlimited fast repairs. So
John's still sitting in pit lane. What's going on there?
So I just thought I'd quickly pop up the track map and have a look and see what's going on. So we've got our 2 back markers coming around. The iRacing safety car. Have the lights gone out on it yet is the question. But gentlemen, I want you to have a look and tell me which livery, and now you can't pick yours, Brett, but which livery picks your fancy from the ones that are out this season?
Oh, there's a few actually. They all look great. There's some really good looking liveries.
So the lights are out on the pace car, so we will be going green at the end of this lap.
Was this an experimental thing, Bruce?
No.
With the pace car?
Scott just pushed the wrong button. The iRacing safety car can actually be used instead of the human-driven one, and it also does all the way rounds automatically, so it's actually quite good. The only challenge is it uses the oval rules, particularly when it comes to...
The iRacing safety car is going to pit at the end of this lap. We are to remain under safety car, the RaceKraft safety car, for one more lap.
Oh, we're going to go for another one.
At this stage.
Yeah, so the iRacing safety car is going to come in on the end of this lap, but then there's going to be another lap to go under our safety car.
Which is interesting choice. I'm not going to question what race control's doing.
Race control, do I get a wave around?
I would have done something else. But that's just me.
It's certainly brought the field up together, guys.
Yep.
Certainly has. It's going to be pretty intense once
Car
this
26,
safety car gets out of the road and we all go
Mm.
green again. Now, Bruce,
Yes.
to go back on what you were saying before.
1, 2, 1. Gotta
Race
get away
liveries.
from it.
There is a couple of cars that I really do like. They are not my own. I reckon one of the nicest looking ones is actually one that Andrew Hoffman is actually supporting at the moment.
Yeah.
This racing livery.
That did look good.
That's a cracking livery.
It's definitely a
I
big
also-
step. Definitely a big step up for the SCR cars this season. That's for sure.
Race control, car 140.
I also do like the Nova Sim Sports
Go ahead, 140.
cars. They look fantastic as well. Sorry,
Request
guys, have you
wave
got any
around
faves?
past,
I'm just following
position 37.
JVR around here. They look like they've made a complete different skin for those W.
KMP
what they
cars.
call them?
WKP.
Yeah,
There goes a wave around as we go around. This is why we're waiting.
yeah. So John's actually backing up and running. So I don't know. He might have need to go to the toilet or something, but it seemed a long time in the pits for him.
Is he? Now John brought the safety car out, so he's unable to do his wave around. So he's going to stay there at the back, or
Yeah.
is he? Or is he trying to get past?
He's having a look.
I don't know what he's doing. I'm sure he knows. Is he rolling a quick smoke? Is that
No,
the
that's me.
question? Of course
he's
it is.
taking a shortcut through there.
It's got it down here. It's of course 2 pit stops. Yeah.
Look, I think there's a lot of liveries out there.
They all
on
look
track,
fantastic.
and they all look
The race
really, really
control
good. I think
572.
the painters for this series
Go ahead,
must be,
head car
let's give
572.
themselves a pat on the back
We just had
because
cars
the liveries look
overtaking.
fantastic. There's some great looking
They're
cars.
on-
So,
Obviously,
so I do like the Locked On Lads livery. I would change the vinyl a bit. I'm not a fan of cars that absorb the sun and let nothing else. He needs a little bit of gloss, not super matte. I do like the Banner Alliance cars since they came through. I like that detail of the light green and the dark green, so that's quite nice. This car, if it's going to go where I want it to go, this car's okay. This one. That one's okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. And Michael Stewart, he's been the maid for Breland livery.
Green flag.
And we're off.
Well,
Or are we?
Whoa.
Oh, no, we're not off.
No.
False alarm.
Off.
So
That's why
basically,
racing
we're
doing
off
it.
because the iRacing's made it go green, but we have not made it go green. So
No, we've got another lap. Even the Angry Birds car is actually quite good. Actually, the way they've actually done that car, like you were saying, Bruce, before with the Locked On Lads, it was a very matte sort of car. Where this one here, they've actually brought it up a bit off the matte, complete matte. So it is actually the livery as a whole looks really, really good. If you pan around
there you
the
go.
car,
It's a
so-
little bit of gloss there, which is just nice.
Yeah, it just makes it blend it a bit better.
I noticed it's a very colourful field this season. I mean, we all tend to, very similar blacks and greys or blacks and whites, but there's a lot more colour spread throughout there's some greens in there, some purples, some orange. So we've got a lot more colour, which is always a good thing.
Yep.
Bruce, can we have a position gained icon brought up again, please?
Sure. Who would you like to see? I hope you don't want to see
just
the whole
that-
field.
No, just that little box that you put down the bottom corner before.
We will be going green at the end of this
There we go.
lap. Green at the end of this lap.
There you
Okay,
go.
Matty. Yeah, Matty's leading the charge. There you go. Your mate, Peter Keller, up 16. Andrew List, 14. Roy, 13. Jeremy, 10. Joseph, Crenshaw, 9. Good run. Derek Lodgebro, 8. There's Mark, 7. Reg, 7. I think they've been following each other for the whole race, those two. Jeff Stanford having a good run. And Andy, big age, 8. 7. Dave Galley out there been, I don't think we mentioned Dave tonight. And
We
Mr.
just
Hoffy, look at Hoffy, up 5. That was under fuel saving.
Yeah. So one thing I'm
So
going
when-
to have a quick look. I'm just going to check out the weather. It's partly cloudy with no rain in sight for this particular race. So nothing at this stage.
And humidity, zippity-doo-dah.
So
How
we're
is
gonna-
Zippy going?
Oh, he's there. He's going
He's
all
in
right.
9th spot, up 4 spots. He's having a perler.
how's his fuel? That's the question I want to know. How much did he
Well,
put in?
after-
Just let me check. Oh yeah, he should be okay. He boxed for 27.3 seconds. So
I mean, really, they've just done 5 laps around Bathurst under yellow.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
so
like,
we'll be
you'd almost be
fuel.
able to do 80 litres in this. In fact, Ed, you can have a look.
Yes.
If you did join the way I thought you were going to join, are you able to have a look at Mr. Mark Dial's fuel?
No, I couldn't go in through as a
You didn't
spotter
spot
for
him.
Mark.
You didn't spot him for Mark.
No.
He doesn't trust you. That's why. Not like I trust you. All right, we're
So
going to
the
get
leader's
it.
coming down Conrod now.
Yep, I was about to jump up
Seeing
there.
a bit of weaving action throughout the field at the moment. So let's see. This is going to be a this is going to be a ripper of a restart. I'd really like to see what happens here. It could be carnage.
Turn to pit lane,
It
car
could be
180,
really
you have
good, and
control
I
of the
think
field.
that this is an opportunity
maintain
where
and
people
control
are
of the
going
gap.
to want to actually try and make moves where they can, and that can make things come very unstuck very quickly as well.
He's on it.
Just quietly, boys. 32 guys have only needed 1 pit stop, so that's excellent. You know, considering how simple it is to have off or an accident here.
Just coming into the chase now.
Currently on board with Michael Stewart in P3, waiting for this to
A little bit
go.
of a gap there that Matt Vanderkran's just about a car and a half length away from Jeff Thomas. I'd be a little bit closer if I was Jeff Thomas.
Safety car is in pit lane.
Safety
Lead
car's in pit lane. So,
There's way
Matty-
too much of a gap there. He's gone.
Matty Van der Kraan.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
No,
not
he
yet.
hasn't. He's still there. So Matt's holding him. He's putting up, hold him right in the whole corner. Fields nicely bunched. Here he goes.
There he goes.
Oh, bit of a jump there into Murray's. Oh, he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the next couple of corners we need to watch out for any challenges because this is where they're going to happen. Oh, Mark Dial's just been turned around
oh no.
by looks like by Rick Vigor. He just absolutely turned him around, just going into first turn.
Have a
People
look.
will not be happy.
Have a replay.
Are you having a look at the replay?
Yep, this is a replay now.
Oh, he's covered him off.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave that one for the stewards.
Restart, mate. Turn 1.
That's a shame. Mark Dial was having a good run. at that
Yeah,
point.
very good run.
He wasn't the only one either. Darren Freo getting sideways on the putting wheels on the grass
Oh.
and having a massive
Ouch.
tank slapper.
Ouch.
As we go back live, back up the front.
Yeah, well, as I said, that on the restarts, there's opportunities and also, what else did I say?
He
Just
redressed
Stephen
that.
Kennedy getting pretty wild through that corner, couple of corners there.
It's been a call for a redress. I'm not sure if that's going to be Rick Vigra being asked to go all the way to the back of the field.
Yeah, that's not practical. So Matt Vanderkran's first lap is a 2:08.946, and then Jeff Thomas is a 2:08.694.
So this is the battle pack back in the 20s. So look, again, another battle pack coming in. Oh, there's a move coming in. Peter Morris's move gets it done. Backing up the front. Action all up and down the field. It's been jumping around the place. Keep an eye on it. Coming up Mountain Straight, coming up into Murray's.
Derek's got it covered.
Murray's? No.
Stephen Kennedy and Lovegrove side by side.
3 into 1 corner. Sort of goes, but doesn't. Let's see what happens when I come out the other side. There's action everywhere. Nice, respectful, close racing.
I tell you what, Jeff Thomas is actually stuck with Matt Vanderkran at the moment. He's only still about a car and a half behind him, so he's really chasing him.
It goes to show you how tight these fields are. That one incident with Mark has taken him from 13th down to 33.
So I was fully expecting Matty to run away with this again. Jeff's definitely keeping him honest at this point. So it's only 4/10. So with 6 laps to go.
He needs to stay with him if he's going to want to try and take it to him. It looks like he's got, he's turned the wick up a bit.
Meanwhile,
there's a lot of garbage on the track there.
Yep, the patch is back. Meanwhile, there's battles all the way up and down the field. This is Scott McKenzie going for a move on Peter Morris into the chase.
You got to play nice together going through there. Oh, well done, guys. Well done.
New fastest lap for Jeff Thomas, knocking out a 2:78.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Someone's, I thought so. It's very tough to go through there side by side and get it to stick. Oh, someone's coming in. Who's that?
I think that is
Sean Vandermeulen, I think, is it?
Brendan O'Brien coming in.
Oh, someone's come off turn, last turn quite.
So on lap 24 of 29, and I say now Jeff Thomas is now within half car. He was a half a car length, now it's about 1.5 car lengths off Matt Vanderkran.
So here we've got
really spinning it with him.
we've got Jamie Peters coming back all over the back of Peter Kelleher. So let's just bring up our battle pack. That's the battle for first. We don't want to be showing that. We want to be showing battle for P23.
Someone's hit the wall.
That's Jeff Sanford. Going slow and dropping rapidly. Peter Kelleher definitely got eyes front. Trying to chase down Andrew Johnston in front of him. Again, Jamie Peters, bit out of position.
Oh!
Peter goes wide. Lucky to get away with that.
Looks like Pete. Looks
Definitely
like
feel the pressure.
Just been black flagged as well, so.
Drive through.
Yeah. Bathurst is one of those tracks where it's tricky to get those incidents up, so the boys have definitely been busy. Let's see what happens down here. Looks like Peter's definitely going to feel the wick turned up. Meanwhile, even further back in that pack, Scott was making a move, which he wasn't.
So just keeping an eye up the front here too.
Yeah.
So Jeff Thomas just did a 2:08 flat, and Matt Vanderkran did a 2:07.922. So they're still running hot, these two.
I think we just lost Peter Kelleher.
Poor Pete is having a ripper burn from the stern. So
So Darren Freer,
Yeah,
Darren Freer had a meatball. This is Reg James thinking about a move up the inside.
66 and 26.
Yeah, Jeff's keeping him honest, Brett, isn't he?
Mm. Yeah, he's definitely sort of stepped it up. He sort of falls away to about a car and a half length, in certain sections, and then he's just coming through the dipper. He's only about a half a car away, and then sort of falls back a little bit. So he's fast and slower in sections of the track.
But in saying that, Michael Stewart and Chris Brantage is only, you can see him there. You wouldn't want to put a wheel half wrong. They'll be on top of you.
No.
4 laps left to run. Thanks, Alexa.
I'm not sure how to help you.
Yeah, of course she's not. There's battles everywhere up and down the field. It says Jeff takes that curb. We've got Jeremy Bush all over the back of Roy Clark, and just behind them, we've got Matty Parker all over the back of Andrew Listener as well. Different leagues, so different liveries.
Matty's up to 14th now. Wow.
So these packs are developing. So we've got Jeff and Matt out in front with their little pack, with this battle for third as well. So there's 2 battles developing.
And just keeping an eye on the time, Jeff Thomas did a 2:07.884, where Matt Vanderkran did a 2:08.102. So he's definitely staying with him.
They're close.
I'll keep an eye on this run up the front there if you want to scoot through the pack there, Bruce. Or
Yeah.
I might. You got that one covered? I'll have a.
Yes, there's battles everywhere. So let's hang on to this one for a little bit. So that
Chris and Mike keep going. Yeah, there's nothing between those two in third and fourth.
So what's interesting is if you look at these times here, you've got something going on from a Black Flag point of view. It's going to go up and have a look at Craig Healy all over the back of Zippy Zeal. Right ahead of that pack we were just looking at. I can just do. I was going to say I can do this all day. I can just keep going up in the fielding all these little packs. So this is Stuart Hall and Andrew Hoffman battling for P7 and P8.
Yeah, have a look at that one.
Meanwhile, up the front at the pointy end, there's still nothing in it. It's down at
nothing in it at all. They just passed a lap, some lap traffic, and just got slightly held up there. And I thought it was going to sort of make a little bit more closer contest, but still, these guys are really battling it out hard. I mean, Jeff Thomas has done a fantastic job to stick with him so far, and he's closing the gap ever so slightly. Geez, there's a lot of
shit.
That was he's actually game time. Geez, yeah, look at the mess on the track there. That is huge amount of mess there. Nearly Jeff Thomas lost that then, but he actually gained a little bit of time through that corner, I think, actually, from the marbles.
Yeah, so Jeff Thomas definitely pulling in that lap around.
Great effort by Craig Healy and Roy Clark, sitting between their split 3 drivers, sitting between Zippy and Jeremy Bush, who are split 2 drivers. So goes to show you how close these splits can really be.
We'll come back to this battle. Just going to quickly have a look at this fight down. This is P16 and 17. This is Darryl Callahan and Stephen Kennedy. Then you got Matty Parker and Andrew Lister still going at it. So everywhere we look, there's these battles. Let's go back and watch this battle at the front with 2 laps left to run. I think this is where we want to stay.
And same again. The last few laps I've been watching this battle, and Jeff Thomas closes up in certain sections of the track,
312.
and Matt Vanderkran just pulls away a little bit. So it's not over yet, and it wouldn't take much for Matt to break the tie between these two. But Jeff keeps on reeling him back in.
And the boys in third and fourth are only just that, if something goes wrong.
Oh yeah, they're ready to pounce.
First race of the over 60s race. I think it was last lap or second last lap. The top three guys had a coming together, and me and my teammate Bruce, Pete, got first and second. You know, one
Yep.
little mistake. That's all it took.
It doesn't take much, does it?
Yeah. Oh, someone's locked a brake going up through. Oh, he's off.
It's car in front. So let's have a look this
Hopefully-
time as we go around.
Just to add to the mess on the track already
Yeah,
down in this
I
section.
know. That was a fair bit. Can we have a broom to aisle 6, please?
All right, so we come across the line now on lap 28. So we've got this one and two more. Let's have a look. So we had a 2.78 for Jeff Thomas and a 2.79 for Matt. So that gap has opened up a little bit. So
Yeah, I just wonder whether Jeff Thomas has used up his tyres and he's just backing it off a little bit so he can have attack in the closing couple of laps.
Race control request to take.
oh,
Dials just requested a tow.
let's have a look and see where he'll definitely be given one.
So granted.
Oh.
You can tell.
Oh, unusual spot for Mark to be.
Let's just have a look. We'll have a look at that after the race. Let's go back to this battle for the lead.
It goes to show, you know, you can have such a great run 3/4 of the race and the wheels fall off.
And this isn't the tightest battle we have on the pack. Look at this.
Yeah.
There's a cigarette paper between Derek Lovegrove, Darryl Callahan, and Stephen Kennedy. And likewise, we've got Craig Healy over the back of Zippy Zeal.
Yeah, they've been attached for a while now.
Zippy just holding his own.
You got Roy back there. I think he's been under pressure from Jeremy for a while too, hasn't he?
Rick applying the blowtorch to Peter Kelleher. This is a classic split 2 versus split 3 battle. But up the front, Matty's just
Yeah, I
walked
think-
away a little bit.
Yeah, he's broken the toe.
Yeah.
He's the dominance is reigning supreme at the moment.
He just had a very cool head, didn't he, Matty?
Yeah. Obviously knows how to get the best out of that car, I tell you. You know, you could just see the attitude coming down the last lap now.
Yep.
You could just see the attitude on the car. Jeff Thomas's car, you could see slightly just a little bit more ragged than Matt, although Matt coming out of that turn there a little bit sideways. So, but I think he's only got one lap to go, so he can give it all his berries, and I think he'll still be safe unless he makes a catastrophe.
Yep.
No,
Hats off for Jeff for having a crack, eh?
yeah,
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
This is doing my head in. I'm just going to do this.
Who to follow?
Oh, John Ree and Van Ree under pressure from Brent O'Brien just made a huge pass out of Forest Elbow. Sorry, out of the chase. Oh, Van Ree's trying to come back, and Joseph Brenshaw just coming through on both of them.
Trying to find him in the list. Here we go.
Is that John? Who's got behind him?
It's not over at the front, that's for sure. As these boys come down Conrad. Oh, something's happened. This is John Van Ree we're on board with. Let's just jump back 15 seconds and see what happened. This is coming in. Oh,
Well, drive, guys. How did they get away with that?
I don't think
So
they
the
did.
leader and Jeff Thomas just coming into the chase now. Jeff Thomas just only a car and a half behind him. It looks like he's going to have this in the bag. He's just going to go one more turn, keep it on the straight, and he'll be right to take out this victory.
What a great.
commanding race there by Matt Vanderkran.
Yeah.
And Jeff Thomas said he'd have to be happy with his race there too. He gave him everything he could.
I think Michael Stewart to be wrapped too. What a great display by those two. Awesome display racing.
Well done, podium.
Have a quick look further down the back of the pack, see if any closer. I think we're just about all done and dusted.
Hoppy up 5 spots to finish in 7th. Awesome run. Zippy up 4 spots to 9th. Craig Healy up 5 for 10th. Craig, what a great run. Roy, 13 spots
Get out of my way, though.
to 11th. Even Jeremy 10 spots to 12th. And Matty Parker 14th, 40 to 13th.
He was up and down like a yo all night, was Matty Parker. So,
Well, he just, I think he obviously stuffed his qualifying up and he started rear of grid. But to work his way all the way to 13th is a mighty effort.
as we have someone coming across the line backwards. Okay, so here's our results. After 29 laps, we had Matt Vanderkran coming across for Angry Birds Racing to lead from Jeff Thomas in an awesome drive. Michael Stewart in P3, Crystal Blanchard in P4, Sean Vandermeulen in P5, followed by Dean Flavel, Andrew Hoffman, Stewie Hall, Zippy Zeal, and Craig Healy.
Any problems with that, please
Moving down the page, we had Roy Clark and Jeremy Bush and Matty Parker, Andrew Listener, Wayne Reynolds, Darryl Callahan, Stephen Kennedy, Derek Lovegrove, Reg James, Richard Barella, Law McKee, Andrew Johnson ahead of Jeff Sanford, Rick Vigar, Jason Dunn, Peter Keller, Scott McKenzie, Jamie Peters, David Galley, Joseph Granshaw,
Thanks, Race Control.
Darren Friend, Bruce Galloway, Mark Houghton, Peter Morris, Brenton O'Brien, Mark Dial, John Van Ree, Darren Freer, Darren Crosby, Peter Baxter, and head of our safety car, Luke Neville. So
that was an absolute crack.
that was that, if you like. So that was.
I'm hearing.
I can hear someone's doing
Good thing he wasn't
something.
in race control tonight. We'd still be doing drive.
I think the boys are trying to.
Thanks, Race Control. Bit of teething problems there, mate. We'll make it better. Thank you very
I
much.
think they're going to be as they come around for the finish. What are our thoughts, gentlemen?
Don't forget to go into the split.
Oh, it's brilliant. Some really impressed with the split 3 boys. All held their head, even as far as AJ. You know, AJ was up something like, what's that, 31st to 22. So what's that, 9 spots. Yeah, so
AJ, that was a lot of fun.
split 2, split 3 boys really putting on a show there and having a lot of fun in the meantime. Some hard luck stories. Mark Horton sitting in top 5 there,
really
you know, had
respectful
that
racing,
off.
a lot of good fun.
Never really did
and
recover.
batting like a
Brenton O'Brien, as we know, he's super quick. He didn't recover.
So there's your answer there, Ed, with Matty Parker up 27 spots. And with that, I'm going to bring in our race winner, Mr.
No, I've got
Mr. Matty Vanderkran. That was keeping you busy, Matt. How was that from your seat?
Yeah, look, a lot harder than what I hoped for, Bruce. I was enjoying it before the safety car came out, and then Jeff just found an extra gear, and wow, I worked real hard to keep him off then.
Yeah, to be honest, I fully expected you just to skip away again like you did at the start, but that definitely wasn't the case. It looks like, you know, you had a little bit of a break, and then Jeff definitely, I don't know if he just cracked up the throttle map or something, but he definitely found a second gear there, and then you managed to hold him out for those last couple.
Yeah, I locked it up into Griffins on the first lap after the safety car to get a nice jump and threw all that away. And then, yeah, there was no shaking Jeff from there. He was absolutely flying.
So, ahead of Thursday, what are your thoughts going into the big one on Thursday evening? What have you learnt?
I learned that if you don't go too silly on the throttle, the tyres can last. I pitted on lap 15, and I'm not going to say they were great, but they were still in a very drivable condition. So Yeah, it's just a matter of just, yeah, if you want to get excited on the right foot, don't.
All right, Matty. Anyone you want to thank before you run away?
Stationary. Have a look at the
Well, I might just stick to you boys who have jumped in for the broadcast, obviously the league that have done it, and Scotty and Lucas and Lukey who jumped into the race control tonight. I know Scotty made a bit of a mistake there, and he's probably beaten himself up, but he shouldn't because he managed it very well, and all was fine in the end. So good on those guys. Cheers, boys.
No, it's very easy to do. Thanks, Matty. Thanks for joining us. All right.
That's
See you later,
as I've seen from
He's already gone. I've already pointed him out. Jeff, how did that look from your point of view? Did you see way too much of the back of that Angry Birds car this evening?
Oh, look, I was glad to be seeing it close up instead of like it was before the safety car. So, yeah, that was a good little run home, I thought.
Oh, excellent.
That was an awesome run, Jeff. Awesome run, mate.
Realistically, never probably going to get a pass done, but if we could hassle him enough, he might have made a little mistake, which he did early in that restart. He just got in a bit deep up there at Griffins, but yeah, not enough to get by. So.
That's because I was getting...
No, it was made for excellent viewing, mate, so thanks for making our job
well done.
that much easier.
So
yeah, it would have been a bit boring early on at the front, that's for sure.
Oh, no, it wasn't. There was action all the way up and down the field, Ed.
We had plenty to do.
That's what I'm saying. Only at the front, like me and Matt were a bit spread out, you know.
Yeah, and I tried to
Stuart's kept me honest, that's for sure.
But to be quite honest, we couldn't take our eyes off those news top four because there was little time, one little mistake, and yeah. So awesome job keeping your cool. And, yeah,
it was good to have that little safety car. You could get the the sweat out of your glasses a little bit. It was good.
So how does this affect you going into Thursday's race? Anything you've learned? Anything you're going to change? Going to keep it the same?
Look, it was good. I hadn't turned any laps till this afternoon, so that worked out pretty good. We'll find a bit more pace hopefully during the week, and try and run in that top 10 pack.
All right,
Thursday.
Jeff. Thanks for jumping in. I'm going to kick you out and drag in Mr. Stewart.
Thank you.
See ya. Michael Stewart. Sorry to interrupt the conversation that I know goes on in the green room. How was that from your point of view? Did you have enough to get up to those boys up front? Looks like Blanchy was definitely keeping you busy.
Oh yeah, Blanchy was. I was just saying to Matty that just before the safety car, I felt like I was starting to get the measure of Jeff. He was starting to slide a little bit, and I was getting up to him in a few corners. So I thought, oh well, if this keeps going, I'll have a go in the last few laps when his tyres are really worn. But then they cooled down, and I had nothing after that. He was smoking. So yeah, mate, good fun. I'm drenched in sweat. I'm in Queensland, and my air conditioner broke down last week.
No.
So, and I've rigged up a blower with ice water, water bottles that are filled with ice, and just air blowing over those, trying to keep me cool. But yeah, no, I'm bucket of sweat. Good fun.
So basically, we need to do a shout out to any aircon guys in Queensland, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's under warranty. Yeah, maybe a hurry up.
Now, look, the pressure from the top five. One little skid mistake, you were going to be in it. There was no doubt about that.
100%. Yeah, you could tell. You were, who was in the first stint? Was it Darren Crosby that was behind me? Like, he was all over me for a long time, and that really worked up the heat. I was I wasn't defending, but I just had to make sure I was clean every single corner. Otherwise, he just moved right up on me. A bit of fun.
Yeah, I think Mark Horton was up there in the top five. Unfortunately, had off there, but he was definitely, applying the heat as well.
All right, Michael, we'll let you run. Look forward to seeing you out there again on Thursday as we're keen to get back into the seat and try and get some of those lap times. I think we've got a bit of work to do to get anywhere near where you boys are, but looks like it's just definitely going to be a cracker.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
At least this race was dry. And on that note, I'm going to kick you out and I'll let these boys take us home. See you, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
So, boys, that was a race.
Oh boy,
Certainly was. But what a fantastic start to the over 50s we've had here at Bathurst. 29 laps, full of a whole lot of stuff to unpack as we ran out tonight. We've seen some fantastic racing. A great little run there to the end there with the top two competitors. Anything could have happened and did happen. There was, like you said before, Red, we had some, some highs and lows, and unfortunately, some people got, things happened to them. They lost positions and stuff like that. But overall, I think it was a great race, and I think we've got something to look forward to in the coming weeks to, see where our champion lies. And I mean, I hope, congratulations to Matt Vanderkram, but I hope that, someone can take it to him a little bit so we don't have a runaway.
yeah.
So I think... sorry,
go on, Brett. No, you go, Bruce.
No, I was just going to run through and thank our league sponsors, Chubby Buns Burgers. They're definitely a good burger if you're up in Sydney. There's what we can see on the car right now, the Michael Stewart Foundation with Bin the Blade for Barlin. Logitech G, I've got one of their Pro wheels that I'm currently modifying at the moment. They're a good bit of kit. Gloves from Sudspeed, LGC Images, Nova Sim Sports, Play One Sim Gear, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, iRacing, of course, and the league itself, V8 Veterans, all the organisers, and Race Control. Ed.
I was just saying, I was obviously keeping an eye on the guys that I'm more familiar with in 2 and 3, and boy, did they have a rip snorter of a race tonight, filling in anywhere from, Zippy, Andrew Hoffey, all the way down to that top 20. So, boys had a great run.
All right,
we often speak about split 3 as being, split 2.5, and it really showed tonight.
Yeah, there's just nothing in it. All right, I just want to thank everyone for hanging around and taking the time to watch and putting up with our few little teething issues that we had. As always, we'll crank these up and we'll go through the grid a bit slower next time and not screw that up. But with that, I'm going to call it on. So I'm Bruce McLeod with Ed Cullen and Brett Fisher, and we will see you next week where we're coming from somewhere. I don't know where because I don't think that far ahead. All I think about is doing laps on Thursday. See you all
later.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
And we're done.
And that's a wrap.